Have you ever wondered what's the difference between people that are wealthy and people that are poor? It's their habits, it's their thoughts, it's their feelings. But in this video, we're going to talk about 10 daily habits that wealthy people have. Now, if your goal is to make more money, if your goal is to get rich, then and you're not doing these things, then you can't expect to get to where it is that you want to be. So let's talk about it. I wrote everything down and let's get it. I want to show you how I made $2,200 while I was on this ATV in Mexico a few days ago. Tap the school link in the bio and I'll see you there. And by the way, I'm showing you 100% free. I want the opportunity to prove to you that I can help you before we even think or even talk about investment. I'll see you on the inside. Okay, so the first daily habit is they read every day. Now, when was the last time you read a book? Think about it. I know with social media, with TV, with video games, the likelihood of you sitting down to read a book just seems like a waste of time for some people. But here's the thing. You don't have to read a whole book. You don't have to read 30 pages. The whole method behind wealthy people doing this is to continue to educate and grow their mind every day. You see, while there's a certain percentage of people that will watch social media for 8 hours, 10 hours, and then there's a certain group of people that would read, not for 10 hours, but they educate themselves every day. Remember, how you do anything is how you do everything. So if you're lacking money or you're lacking information or you're working a 9 to 5 that you don't want to work and you're not doing this, you really can't expect to grow, right? Next thing, they prioritize health, exercise, proper diet. Now, I've never met or seen a wealthy person that was 500 pounds. I've never seen that. Have you ever seen that? I've never seen that. No. Now, there are some people that's a little big boned, that are rich, but at the same time, they prioritize their health. Look, especially if you're over the age of 40. If you're over the age of 40 and you sitting down on the couch eating greasy hamburgers and French fries and pizza and drinking sodas and juice and not working out, the least you can do is walk. That's the easiest thing you can do, is to walk. Like you can walk around your neighborhood. I walk from my house to the park every single day. If I'm not walking, then I'm going to the gym. But either way, I am doing some type of moving around every day because I understand we want to make more money, but a lot of us won't be able to enjoy the money that we make because we're unhealthy. But so that's the second habit. Wealthy people prioritize their health. Third habit, they track money daily. Even with bank accounts, they pay attention to cash flow, expenses, and investments. They know where every dollar goes. Now, if you're spending most of your time talking about how broke you are or how you can't afford something or how, life is not working for you, then I promise you that is the reality of your life. You think you're going to see a wealthy person walking around talking about how broke they are? You think you're going to hear a wealthy person talking about how they hate their 9 to 5? No, they track their money daily. They know where every single dollar is spent. They know how much money is made every single day. The next thing, they network intentionally. They spend time, or you know what? Let me stop. We spend time building strong relationships with people who inspire, challenge, and open doors to new opportunities. Who are you around? Who are you spending most of your time with? If you're spending most of your time with Earl and Craig in front of the liquor store, look at their life. Your life is going to be exactly like that. This is why I only have, I say, 2 friends, literally 2 friends. And the 2 friends that I have, we're always talking about taking everything, our money, our lives, our wealth to another level. That's all we talk about. That's all we talk about. So when I look at my group, I know that we're going to continue to progress because I'm not around the people that I went to high school with. Not saying that anything is wrong with the people I went to high school with, but most people that I went to high school with, they're still doing the same things that they were doing in high school, still right now. But it's intentional, right? Next, We plan our day. And the reason I say we, because I believe that I'm wealthy. I believe that I'm wealthy. I may not have the millions in my bank, but I have it here. And it's coming. It's on the way, right? Now, we plan our day, right? We don't just wing it. We set priorities, create to-do lists, and focus on high-value tasks. Think about it. Are you planning your day? Or are you just waking up knowing that the only thing you're doing is to work a 9-to-5 job and that's just how your life is and you don't have a reason to plan your day? Look, 9-to-5 is what's messing a lot of people up. 5 to 9 after your 9-to-5 is where lives change. So the question is if you work 9-to-5, it's not what you're doing from 9-to-5. It's what you're doing from 5 to 9. After you get off work. What are you doing after you get off work? That's how you're going to build your wealth. But most people are too tired, too exhausted. And it's set up that way for you to be that way. It's set up like that. Next, we invest daily in some way, whether through stocks, businesses, real estate, or self-education. We are constantly putting money to work. Literally, every single day I'm putting some type of money to work, whether it's my YouTube automation channels, whether it's me, investing into some information to be able to learn something, a new skill or whatever it is. Look, getting to another level of finance or money is about understanding that there are certain habits that you have to adopt if you want more money. Here's the funny thing, right? I talked to a young lady recently about investing into her business, and I came up with $1,000 package for her. Now, she told me, oh, that's too expensive. But there's a person out here in the Bay Area that just sold $1,000 concert ticket. She came up with the money for that with no problem. So it's okay to be entertained and celebrate nothing, but it's not okay to invest so you can celebrate every single day of your life. People's priorities are really jacked up right now. Priorities are really jacked up. But hey, it's your life. It's people live their own life, right? They'll look up 10 years later and wonder why they're still in the same place. It's because most people are willing to invest into entertainment, but they're not willing to invest into, learning, growing. And that's the difference between people that are wealthy on their way to wealth and people that are poor and going to stay that way forever. Next, we practice gratitude. Now, gratitude keeps us grounded, focused. This morning, I walked to the park, right? And when I walked to the park, I sat at the park as the sunshine hit me. I was sweating. The wind was perfect. And I just looked around and I was so grateful. I was so grateful. I'm grateful for being able to live. I'm grateful for being able to walk. I'm grateful to be able to see, grateful to be able to feel the sunshine. I'm grateful that I'm free. I'm not in prison. I'm grateful that I have a good mind. I'm grateful that I constantly keep going no matter what happens. I know sometimes in your life when you're going through it, it's difficult to be grateful, right? Because you want more. I understand that. But you have to understand that if you go to some of these countries where people are living in, mud homes or shacks, they have to use the toilet outside and you get to go and close the door in your bathroom. That's a reason to be grateful. You have people that have to walk in the woods and kill their food every day. And you get a chance to drive to the grocery store, which is air conditioned. Like, be grateful. You get more when you're grateful. And it literally keeps me focused. It keeps me grounded. Because we all have things that we can worry about. We all have things, right? But I don't let that worry consume my mind. Next, we avoid wasted time. Wealthy people cut out distractions, mindless scrolling, excessive TV, gossip, and replace them with productive habits. That's self-explanatory. How many hours a day are you scrolling on social media, but you say out of your mouth that you want to make more money? I wait. So many people in this world waste so much of their time. They're not educating themselves. They're not investing in themselves. They're not doing anything every day to get to another level, but they love to complain about their situation. You have to understand at some point in your life that if nothing changes, nothing changes. Next, we learn from our mistakes. Instead of ignoring failures, we review what went wrong and adjust quickly. Listen, one thing about me, I failed a lot. I failed a lot. I don't even like to say I failed a lot, but I've learned a lot. You know, I've put a lot of money out that did not come back. I've invested into a lot of systems that did not pay me. You know, I've tried a lot of things that just did not work. But you know, one thing about me that I'm very grateful for is no matter what happens, I'll never stop. I'll never stop. And it's traits like that. When you have traits like that, you know that you're going to be rich. You know you're going to be wealthy because you don't let one thing or two things or three things or 10 things stop you. One day I'm going to tell my full story and you are going to be in tears with everything that I've been through. And you will be shocked that I'm still going. I'm still going because I've been through hell. I've been drugged through the mud. But I'm still here. And I won't stop. And you shouldn't either. Last but not least, we visualize and set our goals daily. You know, wealthy people constantly remind themselves of their bigger vision and align their actions with long-term wealth growth. One thing that I do every single day, I write down five things I'm grateful for, and I write my dreams out as far as my perfect day. You know, I literally write it as if it's happening right now. You know, I'm going to record a video one day and I'm going to literally read exactly the type of stuff that I wrote. But I write it as if it's happening now. I don't say things like, well, hopefully, I wish, I can't wait until. I speak as if it's happening now. I'm walking outside right now and I'm looking at my swimming pool in the backyard and I'm looking at the squirrels climbing on my fence. You know, I hear the waterfall in the backyard and the sunshine is on me. It feels so great. Like, this is how I literally focus and stay focused on my goals every single day. I don't let a day pass. Now, this is just 10 habits. If you're not adopting any of these habits, I would start as soon as possible if you want a better life. Now, if you don't want a better life, then just continue to do what you're doing. Like, nobody's forcing you to change anything. You don't have to change anything if you don't want to. But now, if you want to learn how making money online works, you can click the link in the description. I have a lot down there for you. Check it out, and I will see you on the next video. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Let me know where you're from in the comments, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.